Hey everybody, and welcome to One Live here in the UK, and it is 4 p.m. And it is also, guess what, Brandi? We've got sun. Thank you. You brought the sun today. Thank you so much. That's really helpful of you. And a basking 35 degrees in the UK this week. So I don't know what's changed, but we've gone from pouring down of rain, miserable summer weather in the UK to sunshine. So you've obviously brought it with you.
Oh, I don't know. I'm from Seattle. We don't get a whole lot of sunshine here either, so maybe it's just a shift.
It could be. You could have just moved that over to us, but thank you anyway, because it's absolutely great. I've been doing all my other interviews in the rain, and everyone's like, how's the weather in the UK? I'm like, it's horrible. It's horrible rainy. So before I introduce the lovely BrandiWyne over to you all, I'm just going to say a quick hello to everybody out in podcast land if you've joined us today, because we're live on YouTube. And we've also got a little bit of an experiment going on. StreamYard has promised me that we may be also live on Facebook. So if you're joining us on Facebook on the One Live Music channel, hi from me and hi from Brandi. If not, you're going to get the video out later and we will show you what we've been up to later, okay? So just a couple of bits of podcast land. Thank you so much for last week in terms of joining the One Life Journey and the National Autistic Society. We have had a donation through, and that was from my mother, bless her. I got a lovely card through the post from her to say she was proud of her son and she was going to donate to the National Autistic Society because she knows that's very close and dear to my heart because of my daughter and my family members who also have the condition called autism. So we do have money coming in. We are running for the whole of August in terms of supporting the National Autistic Society. So our artists are joining us this month to raise awareness for charity, raise awareness for National Autistic Society, but also talk to us about some of the great projects that they're doing at the moment as artists. As we said, music is a part of charitable work, but it's also a way of bringing us all together as friends and family. And I know, Brandi, you've been doing some great work, and we will bring that in the show later on. Okay, so if you want to join us, remember, we are on YouTube. We're also on Facebook, and we're also on our Instagram page. So please join us, and we're going to get on with today's interview. So, Brandi, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Have you got a dog in the background?
Do I have a what in the background? I'm sorry.
A dog in the background. There was something barking. I don't own a dog, and all of a sudden there was like a bark.
Yeah, sorry. Because I had these in, I couldn't hear her. That would be Coco. More than likely, she either sees our neighbor's horse or she sees a rabbit in the backyard because, you know, bunnies are God's bouncy balls. So
fantastic. Okay, fantastic. Okay, I thought I wasn't hearing things, you know.
No, so, yeah, I apologize.
Welcome, join us. What we're going to do is we're going to go through a quick bit of your bio, and then we're going to get you to fill in the blanks. Okay.
Okay.
So basically, thank you so much for sending your amazing bio. I've really enjoyed looking at it. You've had an amazing career already, and it's, you know, for the career that you've been going from. You've also moved recently to Seattle to do your solo career. So basically, you started off your music with bands, and then you have moved to Seattle to do your solo career. You have had already an amazing sort of start to your career. We've gone from basically starting on in music to going into multinational awards. You have been headlining events, festivals. You are going to be headlining the International Singer-Songwriters Association this year, which is absolutely amazing. Very, very proud. And we will bring that up later on as well. You've also been releasing music this year. You've got 2 releases out, Victim, which you've done with it. Was it with your daughter?
Yes, yeah, I wrote that with my daughter.
Fantastic. And also a good friend of yours as well, which is a new release which is coming out in August, and we will talk about that a bit later on in the show. Lots of accolades, and you've also recently been joining up with Big Records. So you're on their roster now. So congratulations on that one as well.
Thank you.
So let's start like we always do with the shows. Let's concentrate on the sort of the charitable journeys that you've had as an artist, because that's how we're opening all our shows this month. So you've been doing some sort of domestic violence, some youth group programs, raising awareness about bullying and domestic violence. And that's been a big part of your project over the last year or two. Did you want to give the audience a bit of an explanation about how that all started and how that all began?
Yeah, sure. So that has always been something that I've kind of had a passion for, but it really hit home over the past couple of years when my daughter ended up experiencing bullying through school, and it was through a very unlikely source. It was someone that she thought was a very close friend. Um, and actually, like you mentioned earlier, that's kind of where the song Victim came from. Was she needed help working through all of that, and I experienced a lot of it when I was growing up, either because I moved a lot, or I had, musicians were not, I don't want to say abnormal, but we're not really, like everybody else, either as far as, wanting to fit in, and, we want to express ourselves and be different. And I've been a musician ever since I was young. So sometimes that would be a focus for bullies because they look for any little thing.
Hmm.
But so I wanted to really help her get through that. And so I took what I knew and was like, well, what helps me is writing about it, getting my feelings out there. And so she decided that sounded like a good fit. And we sat down and we worked on a song, and it was actually pretty good. So I was like, hey, do you want to try and record this? And she was all excited about it. And so we started working with my producer, Tyler Mays, and, the rest is history.
That sounds fantastic. And I've been listening to today. It's an absolute, we will bring that to our listeners very, very shortly. What we're going to do is we're going to go through your charitable work, and then we're going to play Victim because I think it's an absolutely amazing track. How old is your daughter?
Thank you. She just turned 13.
Just turned 13. What? Really? And a voice like that? Oh my God.
Yeah.
You must be really proud.
I am such a proud mama. I have to try not to gloat too much, like when we go out to karaoke or something.
Come on, who's the better singer, you or your daughter? Is there a bit of a tussle between who's the best?
Considering she's 13, I'm gonna go with my daughter. But it's okay. It's okay.
Fantastic. And you've been doing lots of festivals, and on your Facebook page you've got lots of festivals which you've done and which are coming up. Did you want to talk about some of those, because I think they've been quite big for you in terms of getting everybody collaborating with the artists, getting everyone on board. You really, really are a dominant force in getting festivals together and raising charitable awareness, and that's amazing. Can you give us a bit of understanding?
Yeah, the biggest one I shouldn't say the biggest, but the one we're most proud of helping out with was the Red Fellow Music Festival. And that's a festival that's actually geared specifically to help musicians. This family who started putting this festival on, their son was an aspiring musician who unfortunately was in a very bad car accident, and his life ended too soon. He was very young. And so they started this up to help raise awareness about music and about local musicians and artists, and how you can help and promote and contribute. So yeah, that's actually that was a really, really fun one. There, wasn't one of the largest. It was, only about 350 people, but it was a lot of really great music, all different genres. And just the sense of community was huge there. So yeah, that was my favorite one so far this year.
That's brilliant. And then have you got any more lined up this year? Have we got sort of festivals coming up with all similar themes, or?
Festivals are kind of dying down now here because we're getting towards the end of summer for Seattle, which also means that we're about to get a deluge of rain again. We jokingly say we have from July 4th until the end of August, and then it's gone. So
kind of like the UK then, that 1 month period where you see the sun and then that's it, it's gone.
Yeah. So I'm hoping actually next year I would love to get out there. I've been invited to a couple UK festivals in the past. So hoping to get out there with my band and maybe hit a few of those next summer when we don't have previous commitments.
Fantastic. You talked about band in your bio a little bit. So you sort of go from solo singer to band. So tell me a bit more about your band.
Oh, my band, they're awesome. Tom is my lead guitarist, Tom Raschko. He is an older musician. He's been in the Seattle scene for years. Amazing guitarist. So he plays our lead. Our rhythm is a gentleman named David. I will not even attempt to pronounce his last name because he's from Brazil and I always say it wrong. Again, he's a very, very good guitarist. He loves playing out with all kinds of different groups, and he brings a little bit of a Brazilian flair. And so we actually have a song coming up that for release next year that has a little bit of a Latin feel to it that he was able to contribute. Michael Franzi, he's our bass player. Again, super great gentleman, has been playing in the music scene for over 20 years. Super, super nice guy. I have to watch him a little bit. Sometimes he'll get a little crazy on stage, but for the most part, we keep him under control, which is a little weird for a bass player. And then our drummer is the baby of the group. We always like to tease him because he just turned 30, and that's Justin Cassady, and he also has played with a few different like metal bands and country bands, and so we're all just lovers of music. We're all different ethnicities and backgrounds and ages, but it helps to really bring a unique feel.
Fantastic. That sounds really cool. So in terms of solo work, are you concentrating more on band work or more on solo work? Which direction are you going?
I'm trying to concentrate on band work. I'm kind of a weird lead singer. I don't really like being by myself. I like having a group and having people to play with and sharing the stage. And so for me, that's a lot of fun. And also just writing music, when you have more minds and more people involved, it tends to be more interesting.
Definitely. Is music always been part of you and your family, like since you were little? When did you first start knowing that this is the career that you wanted?
Yeah, I started at a very young age. We'll leave it at some neighborhood friends taught me to sing. Once my dad found out that I enjoyed it, though, and I had a little bit of a voice, he actually drugged me up on stage when I was very young. Pretty sure I wasn't supposed to be in the bar, but he brought me up with his band because he was a frontman of a band, and I just got the bug. It was like the most amazing rush to be in front of an audience and hearing people smile and clap. And of course, you know, they're not going to not smile and clap for a little kid. So I'm pretty sure I wasn't all that great back then, but they were still very nice. And so, yeah, I started in music and never really looked back.
And what a music career you've already got. I'll tell you what, I think it's time to introduce your first song. So do you want to introduce Victim, and then we're going to get played for everybody?
Sure. So this song is called Victim. It was written by myself and my daughter, Lexi Huang, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Here we go then.
Made me believe I needed you, but the truth is you didn't want to lose. Said you'd never fool me, but the thing is that I don't agree. Made it seem like you're the only one who would accept me. I guess you were wrong. Right after you left me, realized you should have kept me. Would be accused of your lies. That was the last time. Don't wanna be a victim. Don't wanna be a victim.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Thank you.
I really love that track. I don't know, it's got something about it. I really don't know what it is. I was trying to think about it early. I used to watch a lot of like kids programs with my daughter when she was young. I've spoken about my daughter a few times on the show, and she was really into like dancey type, Nickelodeon type musical things, and she used to love it. And it's just got like a catchy type of beat, and your daughter sings it amazingly well. I love it. I can just see it on the TV as an opening, like a TV show. It'd be absolutely brilliant. It's a great song, and everybody should download it, especially if you're going out on a road trip or something like that, because it's just one of those really catchy songs. I love it. I love it. Love it. Anyway, it's time for a little bit of a game. We have a game straight after our music. So for you have got two choices. Okay. You have either got embarrassing photo shoots or embarrassing band member times that you're on the road. Okay, so you can choose between. I see your photo shoots. I've chosen that because you've had a lot of photo shoots later. Or you can tell us about some embarrassing band moments out on the road on tour.
Oh goodness. I don't know. Neither of those actually are gonna be great.
You gotta choose one. I'll tell you what. Let's embarrass the band, shall we? Because we're going to replace them. We're going to replace them later on in the show, anyway.
Okay, sure.
So in terms of your band, how's it? It can't always go well for a band when you tour together. Does it ever go wrong?
Oh yeah. I mean, kind of the same with live music. Is if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. I mean, I guess the thing about it is, like, if you're used to it and you just kind of go with it, it's not super embarrassing. I think I don't know, what would be one of the worst things that's happened? We've been announced as the wrong band before.
Okay.
One of not this group that I'm currently with, but a previous group, we were doing a East Coast tour, and we showed up and we got on stage and everything was going great. And then all of a sudden there was like a power blip or something, and everything cut out except the drummer. But it was so everybody just heard this drummer going, we're just singing and going and trying to pretend like nothing's wrong, waiting for them to fix sound. And it never came back on. So I think the entirety of that second half of that back song was nothing but the drummer. And afterwards we were like, did anybody hear any of that? And everybody's just like, woo! They're like all being like really supportive. And we're like, yeah, none of y'all heard any of it. It's fine. They're working on it.
It was just a drummer on his own.
Yeah, and then you're just sitting up there twiddling your thumbs, and you're like, okay, what do I do? I'm afraid to tell jokes because most of my jokes are inappropriate. And family-friendly event, cred. Does anybody know how to tap dance? So I mean, I think that's probably the worst is when something goes wrong technically and you just is out of your control. Little things like if you trip or you forget the words, those are really easily recoverable because like you trip, okay, you try to make it look like it was a deliberate thing or whatever. If you suddenly realize you forgot the words, okay, audience participation. So yeah, it's, I think that's probably the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened because you just don't know what to do at that point.
You don't. It's really, I know that I've set up sometimes. I thought I've got all my stage ready and I'm like literally singing and everyone's like, can't hear you. I'm like, okay, great. In front of a couple of people down the local pub, you can get away with it. But when you're in a concert, it's like, oh my God, I feel so embarrassed. Luckily, I'm an entertainer, so I can keep people entertained. But like sometimes it's really embarrassing for us artists. Oh, that's great. Fantastic. So, opening act of the ISSA Awards this year. You won last year, didn't you?
Yeah. I won for Best New Female Emerging Artist.
Fantastic. How did it feel going up to collect your award in Atlanta? That must have been amazing.
I was in shock. So a little scared too because they wanted us to keep our speeches short, and so there was this little announcement before everything started, and there was the mention of a laser pointer and feral cats in the background. So I was like, "Ooh, yeah." No, but I actually was live streaming for people at home because it was my first time ever entering any kind of an awards thing, and I really wasn't expecting to win anything, and So when that category came up, I was just kind of like, okay, well, there's the bronze, there's the silver. And I kind of looked over at my date and was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to win, because I had heard the other two and I'm like, they're really good. And then they called my name and I went, oh, shit. And all you see is and the entire feed cut out. I was like, oh no. So I like picked up my phone and gave it to him and was like, okay, I got to run up and go say something. And then I was like, oh, and I don't remember what I was going to say. Where are the cats? So yeah.
That's amazing.
It was exciting. It was really exciting, but unexpected.
So what are we going to expect for you when you open up for this year? Open an act's a massive, great big thing and a big honor to go and do. So what are they going to see from you? Have you got any new songs or new set lists that they're going to see? How long are they going to actually be performing for?
So they only let you do one song, because otherwise, this thing would take all day. Because there's 6 bands. So we are going to perform Victim, actually, because that has been our best received song thus far. And my daughter is actually going to perform with us on the stage.
Wow.
Since she helped write and record it. So I'm super excited about getting that like little moment to share with her. So we're gonna be tired though. I'm not gonna lie. We're doing a red eye, so we're all getting there that morning and then rushing over. And thank goodness they have dressing rooms with showers. So since we're the first band, we're the last one for sound check. So we're gonna run in there. We're gonna get dressed, get ready, and then come out, do our sound check, and then basically the program starts about 30 minutes later.
Wow. So is this your daughter's first time on stage with you? Has she been on stage with you before?
First time with me. Not first time on stage though. She does a lot of musical theater and stuff like that. So she's more than prepared. And when you get to a stage of that size, it doesn't really matter anymore because the lights are so blinding. You're not going to see anybody anyway. So
she's going to have an absolutely amazing time. I'll tell you what, there's some amazing artists being put forward for the ISSA Awards this year. What we're going to do is we're going to play another little game. We are going to completely get rid of your band and we're going to just have you in your band, but we're going to have a new girl group, because I think when you first started, you had a girl group, didn't you?
Yes.
You did. So I'll tell you what, from the new ISSA group, the new troupe going in to get those awards this year, if I had to join together a new girl group over there in Seattle, who would you pick from that new group of like award winners this year? There's some great winners.
From ISSA people?
From ISSA have been put forward for the awards.
Goodness.
Who are you going to pick for me to put together a new girl band to go back on stage at the end of the party?
Can I pick anybody? Like,
you can pick anyone. I want to know who you think is really going to get up for that award.
I mean, I would pull Pinkin if I had this option.
No, we're not going for professional people. No. I want to know. I've been trying to get out of all of the ISSA reps who they're going to be putting forward and who are their favourites, etc. But they're zipped because they want the awards to run well, quite professionally.
Yeah.
As they are. But for you, I'm picking on you. Come on, let's get some girl group together. Who would be in your girl group?
So I'm not going to pick from people that I think are going to win or not win or that I voted for. But let's see. The female singer from Limberlost, she would be one of my picks. Chelsea Ray, because she's a good singer and an amazing guitarist. Oh my goodness. I don't think Mopsy has applied yet for an award, but if I could pull in this lead singer from Mopsy, she'd be in my list. I don't know any drummers. I don't know any female drummers. This could be difficult.
I can tell you what, I'll give you a bit of a male. If there's a male drummer out there in ISSA, who would you bring along?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
I said if there was a male drummer, let's bring a man in. Come on, we'll let the girls bring one man in at least.
Okay, we'll bring one man in. I would pick the drummer from the Mighty One. The guy who runs drums from the Mighty One. Yeah, from Tim Steinrock's band, because that guy rocks.
Oh, that's an amazing drummer. I love Tim's music. I've been following Tim myself. Hopefully one day we'll have him on the show. How about guitarists? Have you got a lead guitarist?
I'm blanking on the name. Oh shoot. What is the name? Dang it! It is too early for my brain to
It's
function.
far too early. I'll tell you what, this band is getting together really well, and we will put an advert out for the lead guitarist.
There we go. Yeah. There's no, but yeah, in the ISSAs, as far as like the nominees, I was probably one of the, because I got to judge this year. I was probably one of the first people that got their submissions done. But
That must have been a really hard job for you to do.
Oh my gosh. I had a notepad and I spent 2 days just listening to stuff and then writing down notes and from everybody that submitted and trying to say, okay, well, this person did this, okay, go back and listen to this. And then went through and like circled the ones that I liked. And there were a few categories. I'm not going to lie. I literally did like eeny, meeny, miny, mo between like a couple. Because I just
had to do it.
And I'm like, okay, this now falls on somebody else to decide. But yeah, no, there's a great group of talent, and I'm super excited to see who comes out on top this year.
Fantastic. I'll tell you what, I really want to know the real you, because all I see from you is Facebook is about your music. I don't actually, there's one thing I need to bring up. I'm sorry.
You're
Little
fine.
Little Mermaid, come on. The Mermaid. Is that something that you just do at weekends? The Mermaid Tale comes on and you go from singer to being a Little Mermaid?
I haven't gotten to do a lot of it this summer because we've been so busy with the music. I actually I'm a licensed professional mermaid, and
Wow.
it's a real thing, if you can believe that. So my closet, embarrassingly enough, has probably about 10 different mermaid tails.
You've gone on stage by accident and just worn a mermaid tail.
I mean, so I was a little kid and I always used to pretend at it, but then I found out it was a thing, and I'm like, seriously, I can do this.
Wow.
It's a whole community. They actually have their own competitions, like international and national competitions, where it's like the Olympics, and there are certain requirements and moves you have to be able to perform in order to compete. And with like apneic breathing, and you have to be able to maintain like a 10-foot distance for, while doing these tricks that are required, and then you have to put in your own stuff. And I never got that involved into it, although I love watching it. It's great.
This sounds ultra cool. It
Oh,
really
it's
does.
so
I just like, this is like the real rock, like princesses, like out there with the stars, playing her music, and then all of a sudden it's like, here's this mermaid with a tail.
Yeah.
The kids must love you when you go on stage. I bet you're real like directed towards a younger group.
You know what? Ironically enough, my daughter and a couple of her friends, they like our stuff and they follow us. She sings most of my songs, which is great.
That's great.
The audience tends to be older. I tend to appeal more towards like the 26 to 45-ish age group. Maybe because a lot of the stuff is more alternative rock, and the younger generation really hasn't had as much exposure to that yet, which we're hoping to fix. But
I think you're already there. I think with your daughter and her generation getting there, I think it's going to be everybody who's going to be listening to your music. I know if my daughter was sitting right next to me now, she'd be definitely listening to your music, because you're the type of music that she listens to and loves. So it's lovely. So in relation to your next song, which we're going to play, we're going to give you a bit of a break now. We've whacked your brain, so there's some more time for some coffee. Let's get to your new single, which is Get Away.
Yeah, so the next song is getting released everywhere August 31st. So not out for the general public yet, just a select few people got to have it. It is called Get Away, and it is with the featured artist, rock singer Josh Kane, who is a large rock group here based out of Seattle. And the song itself is talking about having a relationship with somebody while fighting addiction, whatever that might be. And kind of the struggle with wanting to be with that person, but also being afraid of how that addiction is going to end up ruining the relationship anyway. And so trying to leave for that person's own good. It's a little bit deeper. It definitely doesn't sound the same as Victim. It's a heavier rock song, but still fun nonetheless. So. And
it was, out of all the ones that you chose, I've chosen these two because they've been my favorites. Okay, so I'm going to play that one now for everybody in podcast land. This is Get Away.
with me belong. I gotta get away to keep this secret safe from you, safe from you. And if we choose to stay, we'll see this nightmare coming true all too soon.
This wound, this fear, it grows inside. I can't stand the pain. You smile so sadly as you walk away. This love is faded, barely breathing. I don't know what to say. To reverse the time, go back to yesterday. No, I couldn't fix this anyway. I've gotta get away to keep this secret safe from you, safe from you.
And if you choose to stay,
We'll see this nightmare coming true all too soon. And looking back on better times, they slip through my hands.
this fear inside is tearing me apart.
It's leaving me confused. Now I try to understand.
Love has to end.
I've gotta get away to keep this secret safe from you, safe from you. And if we choose to stay, we'll see this nightmare coming true all too soon. Another reason to conquer and fight for every day. A moment to hold to.
I can't change.
I gotta get away to keep this secret safe from you, safe from you.
Damn, that's good.
Thank you.
He's got a good voice, isn't he? Eh? Justin's got a great voice. Where did you two meet?
So we actually met at the Washington State Music Awards. It's an event that's held here by Lee Jack Productions. They go around and any of the live touring bands have the ability to be nominated. And so we were both nominated in similar categories. And I ended up winning pop. He ended up winning rock. And I was like, hey, we should do something together.
Put
That'd
it
be fun.
together.
Yeah, since we were both in the same categories together. And he was like, yeah, sure, why not? So just really nice, humble guy. The whole band is super, super talented. And they've been great to work with. And we actually hopefully have a show coming up with them if we can finalize details for the venue in March.
Fantastic. Did a little Dickie Bird tell me that they got into US charts with some of your singles? Did Victim get into US charts?
Yeah, so Victim ended up getting in some of the US for the adult contemporary charts. So it was really great to see that up there, and you know, right next to Taylor Swift. I was like, oh, we beat her on one of them.
Wow. And I'm sure this one's going in there as well. I'll tell you what, everybody out there in podcast land, in YouTube land, and in Streamland, in Facebook land, you've got to download this next track. We want to beat Taylor Swift, don't we? We'll make sure it's number one. Do you know what? Absolutely fantastic. I'm sure it's going to do really, really well. So we're nearly coming towards the end of the show. And in relation to talking to you out in podcast world, we'll do that. But some final thoughts from Brandi in terms of the final things that you're going to be doing this year. How do people find your music? Where do they go? Where can they follow you?
So there's two main places that are the easiest way to find us. The first is our website. That's BrandiWynemusic.com, BrandiWyne music.com. Or you can go to the bigrecords.world site, which is our record label, and look under their artist page and just click on BrandiWyne. You'll see all the socials and any upcoming important events.
Fantastic. And in relation to where can they see you? Where's the next place you're going?
Well, we're going to the ISSAs in Atlanta.
That's it.
And then we're going to be, I'm going to be at the Josie Awards in October, playing locally. We have a big collaborative show to benefit Project Die Hard, which is a veterans support group, nonprofit 501c3. That is November 16th in Tacoma. And then hopefully, if all goes well, it sounds like we're going to be playing a concert / touring up in Canada for the Invictus Games come February.
Fantastic. You have got an amazing year going on. Thank you so much in giving us some of your time here at One Life. We've really enjoyed having you on the show. It's been absolutely fantastic. So before I go, everybody, going back out to the podcast world, I just want to thank everybody who has joined us for the show. We are going to get this show out on all socials, so Brandi's music's going to be shared so you can hear it like we have today. If you've not been able to join us for the show today, we will get that out as soon as we finish today. Just a last message to say thank you very much to continuing to support us. Thank you very much for continuing to support the National Autistic Society. They have been liking virtually every single one of our posts so they can see what we're all up to as artists. They can see that we're putting out their donations and putting them out in terms of the charitable work that they do. So thank you for the National Autistic Society for supporting this month, and we hope that we support you and we will continue to do so. Coming next, we have got 2 more girls who are joining us. It's almost like a Spice Girls week this week. I've got like females all week, but we've got some great artists coming on. It's Female Gal Power Week, I think. So it's a great week. We've got some great shows, so look out for that on Facebook. Look out from the socials. They'll all be posted up, and we'll be letting you know who'll be live on the show. So it's for me to say goodbye to the amazing BrandiWyne and wish her luck. And thank you very much for joining us. And for me to say goodbye to you. So goodbye, everyone, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.